Welcome to our Monday reaction series where we are counting down, I keep saying counting down, we're reacting to the number one songs of each calendar year. We're all the way back to 2011. We started with 23, we've made it all the way back to 2011, and the number one song of that year was Rolling in the Deep by Adele. I could probably react to this song without even playing it, but what fun would that be? I want to relive this in all its glory all over again, and I'm hoping you do too. This video needs no introduction. This was the song that made Adele a huge star, and she's still banking off of the momentum that was created by this initial media sensation that was caused by the universality of this song. This song is everything, and I don't mean that in the colloquial sense. I mean it in literal sense. It's rock, it's blues, it's pop, it's soul, it's country. It's a almost boundless song. It charted on probably half the airplay charts on Billboard all by itself. It was a cross-genre just behemoth. It's just staggering how important and big this song was, and it's one of those songs like when I reacted to Happy a couple weeks ago. I'm like, what in the heck am I gonna have to say about this song that hasn't already been said? But this is the task at hand. I said I was gonna react to the number one song of each calendar year, and so I'm gonna do it. Here we go. This is Adele, Rolling in the Deep.
There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching a fever pitch, and it's bringing me out the dark. Finally, I can see you crystal clear. Go ahead and sell me out, and I'll lay your ship bare. See, I'll leave with every piece of you. Don't underestimate the things that I will do. There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching a fever pitch, and it's bringing me out the dark. The scars of your love remind me of us. They keep me thinking that we almost had it all. The scars of your love, they leave me breathless. I can't help feeling we could have had it all. In the deep, you have my heart and soul. You played it to the beat, baby.
Yeah, what is there to say about this song? I guess I have country on the brain right now because of all the discussion around Texas Hold'em. But if you really isolate the vocal and the heartbreak in the vocal and the guitar piece here, you really see how this is just 2 inches away from being an absolute hoedown of a song. And then you play up other aspects of the song, and the arrangement, it becomes a rock song, and you think about the vocal intonations and some of the bigger parts of the production, and it shimmers like a soul record. So it's like it's a chameleon of a song, and it could be anything you want it to be depending on the perspective from which you look at it. And despite all of the incredible musicianship that's happening, the focus on the song is really the intricate lyrics. She paints a tapestry of a broken relationship, which, by the way, is reflected really nicely in the visual for the video. Everything seems to be happening in sort of a demolished, unfinished space, which to me reflects the landscape of her shell-shocked brain in the wake of this relationship. And she talks about all this bitterness, but in the middle of all that drops in the line about them almost having it all. She drops it as a little prelude in the pre-chorus, and then she comes out with it full force in that first big note in the chorus as well. So there's a mix of regret longing for what could have been, and just straight up bitterness. And it's all just so seamlessly integrated. It's just a huge, huge, huge song in so many ways. Let's get into the second verse.
I have no story to be told, but I've heard one on you, and I'm gonna make your head burn. Think of me in the depths of your despair. Making home down there is mine, sure won't be shared. The scars of your love remind me of us. They keep me thinking that we almost had it all. The scars of your love, they leave me breathless. I can't help feeling we could have had it all. In the days of you have my heart and soul. And you played it to the beat. Could have had it all. In the day, you have my heart inside of your head, but you played it with a beating. Throw your soul through every open door. Count your blessings to find what you look for. Turn my sorrow into treasure gold. You pay me back in kind and reap just what you sow. We could have had it all. We could have had it all. It all. We could have had it all. In the days you have my heart inside of your head. And you played it to the beat. Could have had it all. In the days you have my heart inside of your head. But you played it to the beat.
Just a fantastic song. I do have questions about the video imagery and also about the title of the song. So, hoping you can help me out in the comments on this. First, on the video imagery, I get the destruction. I get just the emotional impact of the imagery. But is there something more specific about the model city and the sprinklers going off over it? Is that just evocative of destruction, the destruction of the relationship, or is there something more nuanced going on here that I'm missing? To me, it just seems like an atmospheric video with imagery that's evocative of what she's talking about in the song. But if there's specific little things in the imagery that people have picked out, or you as a fan know about, let me know about that in the lyrics. This is one video in the lyrics, in the comments. This is one video where I have seen a few times, but I can't say that I've ever just really meditated on the imagery. I've more just let it wash over me in the past. But yeah, I would be interested to know about that. Secondly, I have noticed in other Adele songs that there seems to be some Britishisms in the lyrical phrasing that I think maybe I'm not fully familiar with. One in particular was for Chasing Pavements. I always thought that was an incredibly awkward turn of phrase, but I just assumed that it was a phrase that a colloquialism or an idiom of some sort that I wasn't really familiar with. And same thing for this. Rolling in the Deep has become it was such a big song that after a while, even if you didn't quite get what that meant, it just became shorthand for the angst of the song. So what does that exactly mean? For me, it seems more evocative of what she's talking about. it kind of doubles up as an image for what they were when they were good together. It evokes passion and literally depth. And then on the other hand, it talks. It's like it seems to be evocative of wallowing around in your despair as well. So, but is there something else? Is that a common phrase um, that people use to denote one of those two things or something else? So those are the two questions I have. In terms of final notes on the on the song itself, I mean, we left off at the first verse. The second verse and the bridge are also just masterfully narrated by her, and is really more of the same. I thought the bridge was super effective with its dramatic structure, and probably the single most striking thing to me, which became more apparent the further the song went along, are those backing vocals, which sound like they were recorded from across the room from whomever those backing vocals. It doesn't quite sound like her, so I'm thinking those are other background singers. But however they recorded it, it makes it sound like the microphone was like on the other end of the room, because you get such a eerie echo effect, which does also echo the imagery of the video where everything is happening in these big open spaces. And if you think about the imagery of someone's broken heart, or being this big empty place, that the fact that these vocals echo around makes it, almost unconsciously or subconsciously evokes that kind of emptiness. And there is a certain haunting quality to the song, which I think mimics the haunting way it mimics the way that relationships haunt us, and the sort of despair that she's talking about in the song. The song is almost like what I said about Happy a couple of weeks ago. It's one of those songs that really just kind of mainlines itself into your psyche. There's almost no way to interpret the song, because the way that it hits you, it almost absorbs into you emotionally without you even being aware of how it's happening. So it makes a clear-headed analysis of the song a little bit hopeless. But that was my attempt at it. Next week we're going to go to the number one song of 2010, and let me consult my trusty notepad here. The number one song of 2010 was a slightly less intense song, TikTok by Kesha. Kesha with the $sign now. We all know that music relationship between Kesha and Dr. Luke was incredibly fraught and problematic, but it was also a cash cow for both of them for a little while, and this was the TikTok kickoff of her career, and we'll be listening to that next week. Until then, please be sure to like this video if you did indeed like it. Please be sure to subscribe to the channel if you feel so inclined, and help me to make music better.